Good evening. When I was elected leader of the Labour Party, I said I would always act in the national interest. That's why, as the nation continues to fight against this dreadful virus, my priority will always be the same as yours: to save lives and protect our NHS. Sadly, despite all the sacrifices and heroism of the British people, it's clear that we are not through this yet. The picture presented by the government's medical advisors this week was stark and it was clear. Infections are rising, hospital admissions are increasing, and we know from bitter experience where that can lead. That's why the government had to introduce further restrictions last night. We support this, and I urge everyone to follow the new guidance and the rule of law. While these restrictions are now necessary, they were not inevitable. The return of this virus and the return of restrictions are not an act of God. They're a failure of government. The British people have done everything asked of them, but I'm afraid the government has not. We're a great country. We shouldn't have one of the highest death rates in the world or one of the worst recessions. It's a national scandal that we still don't have a testing system that works or a plan to protect our care homes. It shouldn't be like this. People shouldn't have to travel hundreds of miles to get a test for their child, for themselves, or for their relatives. And we should be able to give our older people the dignity, security, and respect they deserve. The government needs to fix testing fast, because that's the only way we can get control of the virus and prevent further restrictions. And we also need to see a plan B for the economy, because it makes no sense to bring in new restrictions at the same time as phasing out support for jobs and businesses. There was nothing in the Prime Minister's statement last night to protect people's jobs, businesses, or our town centres and high streets. No clarity about what happens when the furlough scheme ends. That's a huge gap and a huge mistake, and it could lead to a wave of job losses this winter. We need a national effort to protect jobs and prevent a second lockdown. So I've offered to work with the Prime Minister to do whatever we can to save lives and protect livelihoods. That offer remains open. My door is always open. The weeks and months ahead will be difficult. And I know that there's real frustration and anger about the mistakes that the government has made in the last few months. But we will get through this. The darkness will lift. A better future is possible for our country. A country built on the values that have held us together during this pandemic: decency, fairness, opportunity, compassion, and security. A future where Britain is everything it can be. The best place to grow up in, and the best place to grow old in. That's the future I want for my children and for my country. That's why I do this. Together, we can build it.